What's up? How do you start a YouTube video? It's like I've never watched a YouTube video in my life. I don't know how anyone opens up a video. Anyway. I'm Kirsty, and I am going to be doing the Booktube Newbie Tag because I intend on joining Booktube. We'll see how this goes. Question 1. Why did you start this channel? I'm actually starting this channel for a few reasons. Number 1 being that I read too much and no one around me does. And so I have no one to talk to about the books I read. I hate that no one around me understands how important it is when Kaz takes his gloves off in front of Inej. I hate that no one around me understands how wild it is that Tamlin is not the love interest after book 1. What is that? That is amazing. They don't understand how much I hate Gale Hawthorne, which is just unacceptable. So yeah, I need other people to talk about that stuff with. And so I am venturing into the YouTube Booktube sphere. I also really want to develop more skills and that I can learn how to edit videos. This is like a win-win. I get to do something fun and I get to learn. Hopefully I learn something. Number 2, what are some unique things you can bring to Booktube? I don't know that I will be able to bring anything unique to Booktube. I think that anything I have to say or anything I will say or any ideas that I come up with for videos have probably already been done. That is probably not the appropriate answer to this question, but that is kind of the only one I have. I do read different things. I read plays, I read short stories, I read a bunch of types of different works of fiction, and that can be fun and unique, but it's actually not unique because a lot of people read those things and a lot of people talk about those things. So hopefully I can bring some realms of Booktube and mesh them together here. But we'll see, because I feel like a lot of YA fantasy people tend to stick with YA fantasy Booktube. And then there's like contemporary fiction groups, and then there's, short story groups, and then there's murder mystery, and then there's this, and I kind of read all of those things. So hopefully, I don't know, there's a bunch of people who read all of those things. So nothing is unique, no one is original, we're all copycats. Question 3. What are you most excited for about this new channel? I am most excited about talking about books all the time. What's up? I want to talk to everybody about all the books I read, and I want people to listen to me. Number 4, why do you love reading? To be 100% honest, I suffer from severe depression and existential dread, and reading really distracts me from that. It takes me away. It's probably the reason that a lot of us read. I wish there was a void that existed that like we could just hop into and just not exist for a while, if that makes sense. Please don't diagnose me via YouTube. Reading is my own little version of the void that I seek so badly. Number 5, what book or series got you into reading? You can probably tell by my approximate age. I'm, pretty basic white bitch. I have like this deathly pallor. So, just take a second and you probably already said it, Twilight. It's Twilight. There's really no shame in my game. I loved Twilight when it came out. I read Twilight 27 times when I first read it in 7th grade. And that is an issue. And I never got therapy for that. So here we are. I'm a reader and I majored in English and I've spent a lot of money because I love to read books, and I'm starting a Booktube channel. Yay! Thank you, Twilight. Number 6. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? I wouldn't ask them anything about books. I would ask them more along the lines of their technological aspects of their Booktube channel. I would want to know what camera they use. I would want to know if they use a microphone, which one do they use? What editing software do they use? Number 7. What challenges do you think starting a Booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? I think that the hardest thing to overcome will be maintaining a schedule. I am severely lazy. I work full-time. I am exhausted all the time. I'm not sure that I have like the strength to keep up with a YouTube channel on a regular basis, but I'm gonna try. I'm going to try my damnedest to do this because I need something. I need this, okay? So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it for me. At least one video a week. At least one. I am just super fucking lazy. Like, all I want to do is sit on my ass and consume entertainment. Number 8. When did you start reading? Like, reading became an obsession for me when I was in middle school, and I read Twilight. But I definitely read books in elementary school as well, usually with school, though. We would go to class and listen to our teacher read us chapter books. My most memorable book was this terrifying book about a vampire bunny that, you know, he was a vampire bunny. So he was fucking scary. Like, he fucking drank blood, dude. Like, and I had a bunny at one point. Fuck that. No vampire bunnies, please. And I can't remember the name of it. And it was mind-blowing. Like, I realized that reading words on a page had the ability to make me fear for my life. That experience is priceless to me. And even though I still, to this day, am scared of that vampire bunny, I appreciate him. Number 9. Where do you read? I read everywhere. I read at home, you know, everywhere in the home. I read on the patio, on the couch, in the kitchen, in here. Actually, I don't read in here. I take that back. So maybe not everywhere. I have read in my closet. I read at work when I'm on break, just to say. I'll like sit in my car and read sometimes if I'm, you know, waiting on something or I'm just a little tired and I don't really want to move yet. Just everywhere. Number 10. What kind of books do you like to read? I read everything. Like, I will read... maybe I shouldn't have said everything. I don't like poetry, but that's not a book. Poetry isn't a book. It's a collection. So I can say that. I don't read poetry books. But other than that, though, I do feel like I read everything. I mostly stick to fiction, contemporary literature, a lot of romance, a lot of fantasy. I'll read historical fiction, I read plays, I read short stories, anything. If I'm interested in it, I will read it. It doesn't, like, you know, you tell me about this amazing, interesting book, and you're like, this is literally the best book I've ever read. Like, you have to read it. It changed my life. And then you give it to me, and I say, like, wait a second. What kind of book is this? And you're like, it's a fantasy. And I'm just like, ew, get it away. Yeah, it's just not me. I'm taking that book. I don't give a fuck. I will give anything a try. I am someone who believes in DNFing. So I will try anything. Because if I don't like it, guess what? I can close it. I can just, like, close the book. And it's done. It's over for me. I don't have to engage with it any longer. It's amazing. Books are so powerful. Or am I powerful? Alright, now some lists like have an 11th question and some don't, but the one that I clicked on first did, so I'm gonna answer it. So question 11, what does your book collection look like? And I can tell you, I can do a mini bookshelf tour right now. Or not even a mini one, just the full bookshelf tour. It just seems like a mini bookshelf tour because it will only take a minute. My entire book collection is right there. You're looking right at it. Basically, everything I own is... I'm gonna try to... I feel like a weatherman. Welcome to my bookshelf tour. Bonus content. Bookshelf tour. So these top 2 shelves right here, and probably like half of this one, are... Yeah, because the Hunger Games is right there. I definitely got when I was in middle school and high school. These were books that I pleasure read. They were all, you know, fun times for me. I loved all of them, and I've kept them. They have made it through various rounds of donations and moving and just getting rid of excess books that I won't read again. So, except Six of Crows, I actually did recently buy that. So Six of Crows, I have purchased recently. I did buy Midnight Sun, which is back there, like up there somewhere. So, Six of Crows, both books, and then Midnight Sun. And, oh my gosh, maybe I do buy books all the time because I also have that Hunger Games prequel that I haven't read. I pre-ordered that. But my lighting changed. Girl. The sun went behind a cloud, so my lighting changed, so I opened my window. Because my window wasn't open before. I'm so stupid. I recorded this whole video. I hope it's okay. Maybe I do buy books all the time. I'm spending more money. Oh my gosh! And I bought Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I'm a book buyer. I'm over here like, I never buy books. I have all these freaking recent ass purchases on my shelf right now. I'm a liar. To myself. I'm lying to myself, and I believe myself. I'm convincing. And I haven't even read that Hunger Games prequel. And I never pre-order books. I even went to the fucking store the release day and picked it up. Like I was gonna fucking read it. And it's just sitting on my shelf. Like I forgot I bought it. I spent money. Anyway. Oh my god. Okay, back to the bookshelf tour. So the rest of half of this shelf plus the bottom two shelves are books that I purchased when I was back in college. At the college I went to, the professors required you to have a physical copy of the book that we were reading, and I read obviously lots of books. My degree was in English, and this is only, a fraction of what I purchased for school because I get rid of a lot of books. I get rid of anything I know I will never reread, or I have already reread it, and I will reread it again, and I will give it to a friend that I think will enjoy it, or I will donate it. And these are books that, I absolutely loved. I am so glad that I was forced to purchase them, honestly, because I don't know that I would have otherwise for a lot of them. I am one of those people that does not regret my English degree, although I don't think any of us really do. It was like paying to be in a very expensive book club. And that's it. That's the Booktube Newbie Tag as far as I know. And I hope you come back. I hope you stay till the end. If you did, that's really dope. And hopefully you don't hate me too much, or you hate me enough to want to see me fail, so you come back to see if I did. And that's okay too. I'm in for that. Go for it. So I hope to see you guys back, and I hope to see me back, because who knows what the fuck I'm gonna do. You can add me on Goodreads if you want. You can follow me on here if you want. That's cool. Do what you want. Live your life to the fullest extent. Happy reading. Bye. This has been a YouTube video. I hate myself.